Thanks for joining me today, Rachel. Can you just tell everybody who you are and your role?
Yes, so my name's Rachel Snape. I'm the head teacher of the Spinney Primary School in Cambridge, and I'm also a national leader of education.
Thank you. And your school are pioneering Storytime Phonics and developing it with your staff. Can you just tell us what impact you're finding from the lessons?
Well, firstly, I need to say just how privileged I feel that we are part of this pilot. It's been really a great joy to be involved in its development, but also just to see the effect it has on the excitement for the children and for the teachers, and really just the joy that it brings to the early years classroom, because it's such a holistic approach.
Thank you. And tell us a bit more about programmes that you've used in the past and how different this is for teachers who are considering changing the programme that they're using.
Well, I've been a teacher for 22 years, so you'll appreciate that in that time I've seen all sorts of different strategies to engage children and to teach reading. And research shows very clearly the importance of a systematic approach to synthetic phonics. And whilst I would not dispute that, I've seen programmes which have been really about teaching through a very, very rote learning style. And this couldn't be more different because it's all about joy, and it's about children's active participation and engagement. And when you see a phonics lesson, it really is such an exciting, joyful occasion for the children. They're really engaged and they're learning in so many different ways. I think previously some of the approaches had been very dry. The assumption was that the children would just take in the sounds by hearing the sound and seeing it displayed on the whiteboard. But this approach is about learning synthetic phonics, applying the phoneme and using that to access some really wonderful, high quality books. And also it's about children building up their long-term knowledge and understanding about the phonemes and reading, because the approaches are just so varied. So the children will learn inside the classroom, outside the classroom, in a variety of different ways that really stimulate curiosity and imagination and communication, and it's a completely different approach.
It's funny, when I visit your school, children stop me in your corridors and they'll say, "Phonic fairy, reading makes me brainy, brainy, brainy," you know, and this is it's just wonderful.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I think they get it.
Yes.
And I think this is, and I use the word get it on purpose, because it's the way that they internalise the experience sustains them, and they hold on to the ideas much longer than this merely a visual an aural simulation of the phonemes.
And it's our duty to teach reading in a fun way that's memorable, because we want to instill a lifelong love of books.
Absolutely.
And that we're not just teaching them to learn to read, we're teaching them to read for pleasure.
Absolutely.
You know, and that is, we want them all to have book wings, because
I think when you showed me the different authors that have come on board, I think this is where it really is so powerfully engaging for the children. And I just love the dress that you wear, which shows the different authors that have come on board. And authors absolutely instinctively know that the best way to engage children as readers is to engage them with high quality, exciting and fabulous books.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely thrilled that they are supporting. With your governors, are you finding that they're pleased with the tracking, with the data?
Yes.
I mean,
yes, absolutely. Yes. We had a governors meeting a few weeks ago, and one of the parents, who is a parent governor, commented just how much her daughter was enjoying learning to read in this new approach with the phonics fairy, and just how she was so avidly keen to extend her learning at home and to find books and to buy books and to explore books at the library. So it really takes the phonemes into a new context as a gateway to a whole range of experiences.
That's right, yes. I was stopped by one of your parents on the school gate who asked if I was the phonic fairy. And I just said, yes, with the big costume under her arm. But she was saying that her little boy was so excited, and the fact that he, you know, refers to me as mummy, reading does make you brainy. The phonic fairies tells us so, and so, you know, they're putting pressure on parents to read bedtime stories with them, and just have a love and an enjoyment of stories.
I think that's such an important word that can so often be overlooked. We want our children to enjoy school. We want parents to enjoy the children's learning, and we want children to take that joy as a really useful experience that will be a gateway to lifelong learning, as you said earlier.
Yeah.